Hi parents, I'm here to talk to you today about the importance of counting cadence in calisthenic exercises. So calisthenics meaning body weight exercises. The thing that would come to mind in the modern era in 2020 is jumping jacks and push-ups and windmills and things like that. And so the La Sierra High School physical education program that I archive and curate a lot of their historical resources. We made a documentary film about the history of physical education, La Sierra High, called The Motivation Factor. You can check that out at motivationmovie.com. But what I'm here to talk to you today about is not necessarily just La Sierra's calisthenics program, which was called the Strength Endurance Routine, but all calisthenics going back in time. They had a counting system. And what's really interesting, we interviewed, Doug Orchard was a filmmaker for a documentary piece. He interviewed over 200 La Sierra alumni. And what came out of this was quite profound and even surprised me. The most important part of this legendary program that JFK held up as the gold standard of physical education in the early 1960s was the counting of the cadence. That's right, the counting of the cadence as a group was what the alumni said was the most important piece of the whole program. Now when you look at the program and the vintage film and the photographs, you think, oh well, it's the human flagging they were doing, or the monkey bars, or the parallel bars, or the amount of extension press-ups and push-ups and sit-ups and running. No, it was the counting of the cadence. And why? Because it brought the group together in unison. It taught the boys how to function as a group and as a team. Now this goes way, way back, as I mentioned. I was, Doug was interviewing Dr. Clay Nolte, who wrote this book about the Sokols in Czechoslovakia. It's called The Sokol and Czech Lands to 1914, Training for the Nation. And she wrote about how exercise bonded the country together. And in the book she talks a little bit about moving in unison in time. And she referenced this book written by Dr. McNeill, Keeping Together in Time. And this is an amazing book here. It talks about throughout history how human beings move together in time, in rhythm, on some kind of beat or cadence, if you will. So the cadence that we're going to be demonstrating in the videos for the kids in my PE 101 section on the Lean Berets is going to be yelling the cadence. So there's a certain way to say every single count in the movement sequence. And I know it sounds like it's not that important, but according to the alumni and according to history, it's a really big deal. So learn the cadence, learn exactly how it's counted. And if you have military background, you'll understand this. The exercise leaders have certain commands they give to the group to get them ready to exercise and tell them to exercise. So there's a preparatory command that's letting the group know what's about to happen. There's a command of execution that gives that final punch, okay, here we go. And the way the words are delivered is also very important. The inflection, the tone, the rising inflection, or the volume, it's all very, very highly skilled, or it was. And so pay attention to all that. When we're doing the exercises, we want to be yelling the cadence, and if you can't yell the cadence because you don't have the lung capacity, at least try to voice or verbalize. So again, if you can't yell the cadence, or you're in a place where that would be offensive to people around you, at least talk the cadence. But one thing that's interesting about yelling the cadence while you're doing these vigorous whole body exercises is that it definitely increases your lung capacity. So the La Sierra Strength Endurance Routine was called Strength Endurance Routine. So you get stronger by doing the routine if you do it with precision as directed, and we'll make sure that you know how to do that. You develop cardiovascular endurance because it's done like 10 to 12 minutes in a row with no rest. Boom, boom, boom. You also increase flexibility when done properly, so you're opening up your body as well, improving the quality movement, correcting imbalances, correcting postural deformities that creep in from improper sitting, improper movement. It's an amazing routine, but I want to highlight in this video the importance of counting the cadence, and it's just like music. It gives you a sense of rhythm and beat. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and it gets everybody moving in that rhythm, and rhythm is so critically important. So if you want to learn more about that, Keeping Together in Time by Dr. William H. McNeill is a great reference.